Welcome, everybody, to the Tatted and Untamed podcast. This is the first episode in our little installation here. I've got my friend Six hanging out. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. But to start off with, I'm going to kind of tell about myself, and he's going to do the same after he figures out what he's trying to pull up because his computer's trying to implode on him. I am an avid gamer, as you can tell by some of the memorabilia I've got back here. Avid gamer, so is he. We tend to do a bunch of gaming together as much as possible. I've been wanting to do a podcast with somebody, and he matches roughly the same exact energy as I have, so it's probably pretty much the perfect one that I could have picked. But this is going to be fun. I don't know how well it's going to go, but we can only do trial and error, right? So, Six, tell about yourself there, buddy boy.
I mean, you kind of already told all about me. Avid gamer. I played in college. That's pretty much my only hobby. That drinking beer. Here we are.
Well, considering that I don't have any beer with me, I'm just drinking energy drinks and pounding as much water as possible. But then again, I'm trying to become a police officer, so I probably should chill out for a little bit.
I know it'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll be fine. Drink some Michelob Ultra so I don't have any extra calories in my body or some shit.
That's the best beer out. That's the only thing you should be drinking.
Yeah, well, as far as beer goes, I prefer Guinness Extra Stout.
Okay, now we're lost. That's just not allowed.
What do you mean you lost? Have you never seen that?
Guinness is disgusting.
Have you never drank one? No, it's not.
Oh, actually, I have, yeah. But it's like syrup, bro.
No, it's not. It's better than drinking piss. Just like any other beer.
That about
of course, then again, when it comes to beer, but whenever it comes to beer, technically speaking, I don't drink beer. I drink liquor.
I had to quit.
I don't know. I mean, I probably should have, but the wife drinks too, so it helps a lot. I don't drink near as much as I used to, though. That's the big thing.
Yeah, me neither.
Only party hardy whenever I really need to. Of course, then again, I bet if I just I bet if you came over like every single Friday or every single Saturday, man, I'd be drinking every fucking week. I'd be drinking every week, dude. It'd be bad.
It'd be fun.
It would be bad. I probably shouldn't do that. But either way, it would be fine.
It'd be fine.
I can't, just because I have no hangovers and I don't technically have a drawback to drinking other than my family's a bunch of alcoholics, has nothing to do with it.
Like I said, it'll be fine.
No,
it won't kill you soon.
Okay, there you go. Like, it's going to kill me fast, but not that fast. Not as fast as, smoking cigarettes and, chewing tobacco. But either way, whatever. Oh, speaking of killing you fast. God, dude. So today, Google likes to just bring up a whole bunch of posts that it thinks that you like or thinks that you would be like part of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, it was like, oh, Nevada's going to have, 16 inches of snow. What do you mean? I'm not anywhere close to there, and we ain't getting snow.
No,
there's no way.
No, it's
we ain't getting no snow. We ain't getting snow.
We don't get that much snow where we're at.
No, I mean, we get ice, a lot of it. Inches and inches of ice to where it shuts down the whole state. But either way, so there was a post that popped up as a notification, and it was like, top 10 things that could be killing you faster than any doctor will ever tell you. And it was like, it said the regular ones, like nicotine-based products, whether it be dip or smoking cigarettes, crap like that, whatever. The next ones were like drinking alcohol excessively, toxic fumes if you're working on cars or whatever, stuff like that. But the one that tripped me out the most was glue. And I was like,
You're gonna have to clarify
okay.
what kind of glue.
Yeah, because like, dude, it was like seventh one, and it just said glue, and I was like, what glue? Like wood glue? Like what are we talking? Rubber cement? I mean, I know that killed some
There's a
brain
lot
cells
of
back when I was in grade school. Exactly. And it was talking about how Elmer's glue back in, between 97 and like 2005 or 2008 or something like that had a specific chemical in it that if you were surrounded by it on a daily basis, there's a good chance that you could, in later stages of life, could end up having certain cancers or certain deficiencies in
Did it have that little
whatever.
tagline on the end of it that says "in California"?
Exactly.
And that's on every.
Yeah, and so
that
I was
don't
like,
matter.
yeah, no, but like I was like, what in the world could be an Elmer's glue? Because I know some kids that ate that.
A few, yeah.
And so, like, what is in it that could make it so bad? And it was like 1 part acetone or something like that. Like it, like way down, it's like parts per million or something like that. There's acetone in it. It was like, dude, I used to eat dirt.
And also,
there's no telling what was in that ground.
For everything.
Well, I mean, that's just like the USDA. The actual
agent has acetone in it.
Yeah, it has some form of acetone in it. Actually, the funny part is that like Purell has some form of acetone in it. So like,
acetone's in all kinds of.
Exactly. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? So like, I went looking and like, yeah, it was like some parts per million acetone, and whatever acetone they were using at the time has shown to cause cancers and like later stage problems like partially Parkinson's, stuff like that. And I was like, dude, I wasn't drinking coolant like the old farmers, like, oh, there's water on the ground, tap, tap, just put a little bit on my tongue. Yeah. That's why they got the shakes by the time they're 60. Like, okay, whatever, it'll be fine. But like, I was like, you got to be kidding me. We got to have, in this day and age, there has to be either a settlement or a disease or some chemical that you were quote unquote exposed to in between this year and this year that you may have a claim or whatever. I'm like,
there's a settlement for everything nowadays.
Dude, I hate this timeline. I really hate this timeline. And of course, more the stuff that's going on now, the more I notice that you and I both belong in a different timeline than now.
Oh yeah.
Of course, then again, I mean, you want to be part of the medieval crusading knights.
Yeah.
And me, I would much rather be in either the Greek pantheon, even though I would be all kinds of, a Slave, or be one of the gladiators for the Romans.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'll dance for money.
You would definitely
even if it's
not
dancing
be a
for
free
freedom or money, whatever. It'll be fine. I mean, it doesn't matter. Literally like 50, 60 years ago, I would already be in deep dookie.
Yeah.
And that's just because of the color of my skin. And the further back we go, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'd be in deep dookie anyway. So at least let me fight. At least let me fight to quote unquote get my freedom. Of course, then again with the gladiators, I mean, you got your freedom and also you became a celebrity. Now, you could also die in your first match or you could not.
They sometimes got their freedom. It was like a balance between famous and too famous. Because if you were too famous,
then you also have
they didn't want you to get your freedom. They were making too much money off of you.
Well, yeah, but then again, there's also the whole fact of like, yeah, you get your freedom, but you are still a conscript for the army. And guess what? We're crusading and pillaging everybody, so you're going to get conscripted eventually. It may not be tomorrow, may not be the next day, might not even be next week, but you will be there. Because eventually one of our boys is going to die, and we're going to need somebody who's big and burly to get in there. But, yeah, no, like, just... The more that you look at the timeline, yeah, it doesn't matter who's in charge. That's how I've always been. It doesn't matter who's in charge. Somebody's messing up the wheel. Somebody. Because they're either trying to reinvent it or they're trying to put a new one on. And they just don't have the right tools.
Pretty much.
Whether it be money, ideals, atmosphere. Because that's like 97% of it is how does the world look at you? Well, depending on who you are, you might be a Cheeto, or you could be the United States first black president that's not really black. Because his middle name was Hussein. Okay. He's from Hawaii. That's technically the United States.
Technically.
Close enough, brother. It'll be fine.
No, I just want to go back to medieval times. Like, you see,
that'd be fun.
You see those videos of the guys nowadays that get all dressed up in like full plate armor and just beat the shit out of each other? That looks funny.
Oh, yeah. Red Fairs have it all the time. Not around here, but like in New York and Texas, stuff like that.
Yeah. It looks super fun. I want to try it.
I mean, there's a couple of videos that I've seen that like, well, okay, let's put it this way. If you got in plate armor and you can, feasibly carry it and everything like that, you wouldn't use a weapon. I know you wouldn't.
No.
You'd be punching the ever-living snot out of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Parry this, you snob.
The only problem with me is once you'd have to be a large person to because once you're already in plate armor and it's already weighing you down, and then the other person is also in full plate armor weighing them down, you're not going to pick that guy up and slam him or anything. It's not going to be possible.
You're not going to be able to pick up and slam him. No, of course not. But
you're not going to be able to maneuver that person as well as you think you will.
Well, see, that's the thing, though, is that with the way that plate armor sits, the way that a lot of those armors sit, dude, you only got to punch him in the chin hard enough where that plate hits him in the chin and it hurts like hell.
Yeah.
It's really not. You're not going to have too much issues because, especially with a lot of the plate armor helmets, they didn't have leather lining where the face was or anything like that. It was only around the neck, where it would touch your neck or touch your shoulder or something like that. So, yeah, you can protect those places, but dude, that chin, nah, man, if you got a glass chin, if you have a glass chin, you're already messed up. But regardless, that's just one of those things where, you'd be all right.
It would be so much fun. Well, maybe not.
Well, yes, it would be a lot of fun, but you and I have also talked about that. Oh, yeah, but you and I have also talked about, it'd be fun for you and I to spar if we were doing the right thing. Boxing? Yeah, not a good idea.
You're also, what? 70? No. Well, yeah, probably 70 pounds heavier than I am.
Yeah. I'm about 225 right now.
6 inches taller?
Yeah, I'm about 225 right now.
It's a flyweight going against a middleweight.
Yeah, pretty much. That also have a 7-foot wingspan, so that helps a lot too.
I got decent infighting.
But Well, that's the thing though. You have to get inside, and I ain't letting you in there because I'm
Yeah.
gonna get inside there. That's it. That's the fun. That's what made it so much fun whenever I was fighting.
Yeah, but
Was
I'm in your head though. You're gonna get it. I'm gonna get in there either way because you're not gonna keep me at a distance. That's not how. That's not your
no, I don't need
mentality.
to keep you at a distance though. I don't necessarily need to keep you at a distance. That's why I was as good as I was because everybody wanted to keep me at a distance, and I never let them in there. I
Yeah.
never let them do it.
But that's
But then
what I'm
again,
saying. That's not your mentality.
even
So I'm in there either way.
yeah, it doesn't really matter. But then again, that's also kind of the same fact about grappling too, because like grappling would be fun on either side because like
Yeah.
both of us know like drastically different things. So we'd be trying to do
Yeah.
all kinds of crap, just spinning each other in circles.
Yeah. It would be fun though.
Oh
Would be
yeah.
fun.
But then again, that's like I never I mean I love grappling, but the people that I always had to grapple with, dude, they're 6, 7 times bigger than I was.
6 or
So
7
like
times.
every person that I had to grapple, which was only 3 people. There's only 3 people that I ever had to grapple. I was 6 foot, 185 pounds. And the guys I was screwing around with were 410. So that's not 6 times, that's
You're talking about football.
3. No. No. No.
Hey, who are you grappling that's 400 pounds?
I'm not supposed
400
to.
pounds is
There
a
were some
lot of-
boys.
Dude.
I know. But whenever we were, well, part of it was part of football. There was one guy because during football off season, we would go with the wrestling boys. And there was 3 guys that we had that were pushing like 280, 300 pounds. Well, there was one guy we had that was like 410. He was 6'9".
I didn't know they made a weight class for
They made his own.
that heavy.
Because there was 3 people in the league that could go up against him. In
So
our
you're
district,
a podium finish
3
no
people.
matter what you did.
Exactly. Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts about that dude. But yeah, I had to grapple that dude. That dude sucked. Because it was either if I could get his arm, most of the time I could arm bar him. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Just because I'm 6 foot, his arm was like 4 foot. I've got most of it. It's all good. But that was if I got his arm. Most of the time, I was just dancing around him, tired his ass out. Because at that point, he can't move that fast. There ain't no way. He too big.
When I was fighting, I didn't ever do too much grapple. When I was like actually fighting, I was doing taekwondo and stuff, so it wasn't.
Right.
That's not a grapple heavy martial art.
No. Well, see, and that was the thing too. Is like, I didn't get to learn martial arts in the way that everybody else did. I learned moves that were taught to me, and they worked well.
Yeah.
Some of them were. I've got like maybe 2 moves that are jiu-jitsu, 2 that are like taekwondo. I've got like 1 or 2 that are just regular wrestling grapple moves. That is just all about using each other's weight against each other. Like that's all it is, which is 9 times out of 10 jiu-jitsu. But as I learned them, it was wrestling.
The only thing I don't like about like taekwondo, karate, like schools or dojos or whatever you want to call them, is they teach you the first like 3 belts has almost 0 things to do with fighting. First 3 belts is all your basics, which is important, but it's also like stances and like shit like that.
Well, the thing is, though, is that besides a select few of schools, it's all about discipline, not about defense.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like that's the biggest thing is they're trying to teach you discipline. So once you get into learning about quote unquote defense, you have the discipline to know, okay, I don't need to use this 9 times out of 10.
Right. Yeah. And I
Which
completely understand that. And that's how it should be. I just personally don't like it because I wanted to learn. I already had the discipline down. I wanted to learn the moves and how to defend myself and things like that.
Yes, but like I don't know how it was for you, but most of the time, especially whenever you get into a school, dude, they don't know they don't care what you've learned.
Right.
They don't.
Yeah.
They're not going to care what you've learned. They're going to teach you the way they want it.
They can't go case by case. That's not a good business model. And I understand that.
And also you've got like, let's just say like one that's around here. You've got 10 to 15 people in that dojo.
Yeah.
That are at
usually they're like 10-year-old kids.
Yeah, like they've got varying levels of skill. So you can't just go, all right, fine, what we're going to do today, we're going to learn advanced moves today. The people that can't, you're just going to watch.
Yeah.
Now, arguably, there's nothing that you can just watch and do.
There's nothing that you can just watch and do. I agree. But watching is a very good form of learning movement.
Well, yeah, absolutely. No,
definitely
I'm not saying
takes a lot of practice after the fact, but watching something over and over again to fully understand the movement and how.
I'm like, what I'm saying is like those people that are like what they classify as visual learners, of where they can look at something and like instantaneously, all right, I know how that works.
Yeah. That's how
that doesn't exist. That doesn't really exist with fighting techniques unless you are face to face with somebody, because
or you already have some experience.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. You've already had the experience, so therefore it was already learned. You're already taught that specific encounter, that specific counter to somebody else's attack, whatever it happens to be.
I think sparring is probably the most important.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter weight class either. Sparring with somebody that's bigger than you, lighter than you, whatever. Arguably, that is where I learned the most of my stuff. Actually, I know that's where I learned most of my stuff, was sparring with guys that were way bigger than me and way smaller than me. Because then I could just visual image, all right, short, tall, mix the two, that's the guy's height that's standing in front of me. I got this, that kind of thing. I know range of motion, all that stuff. But then again, I mean, that comes to the whole fact of like, whenever it comes to technique and stuff like that, you do the same thing that I do. Whenever we get in a group of people, I'm already sizing everybody up.
Oh, that's the first thing I do in any room that I go into.
Yeah, exactly.
It's second nature to me now. Like, it's not a conscious thing anymore.
I mean, I started that whenever I was like 8 or something like that, because I remember specifically my mom going, like, I don't know, it was like 8 or 9, something like that. She goes, son, I need you to stop looking at everybody like they're going to fight you. And I was like, well, what do you mean? I kind of have to. I mean, I'm 8 years old. I remember being pissed off that my toy didn't work the way I wanted it to. I wanted to hit the wall. There's hair triggers for every kid. What do you mean? Stuff like that. But then again, whenever it comes to stuff like that, you also have the inverse of that, where they are, yes, we are. Can I help you? Okay.
What's the first step?
I'm working on it right now. I'm working on the episode right now, and I'm gonna put this on YouTube because this is too funny. Okay. I love you too, sweetheart. Bye. You don't have to close the door. I've got the block behind it. Pardon the interruption, everybody. Apparently, Six, we already have fans, bud.
Is that right?
Yeah, apparently. Either that or somebody's just saying that to make my wife happy.
Who?
I don't care either way.
Oh, the friends?
It's either the friends or, well, I mean, it's friends regardless, but it's either the friends I'm thinking of or it might be the other group that she plays with. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I have no clue. Yeah, the wife's a gamer too. That helps a lot whenever you're, looking for a mate. Try and find somebody who likes the same stuff you do. Pretty close. Don't do everything together. Whatever you do, don't do everything together. That causes way more issues than you think it'll fix. But like I was saying, whenever you're a kid, everything's a fight. Whenever you're learning to fight, everything's a fight.
Oh, yeah.
And then once you get a little bit older, you realize, oh, I can't fight everybody because if I do, then I'm going to jail.
I get in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, I get in trouble. Which, I'm sorry. I mean, I understand that, you don't want to put somebody in the hospital or anything like that. Like that doesn't need to happen. Every fight is measured. Every fight is measured. That's the whole thing about sizing somebody up, sizing up the whole room, technique, discipline, all that. That has everything to do with every fight is measured. Not every fight is a life or death.
No.
But not every fight can just be handled by words.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how to word it. You should always have the confidence to know exactly who in the room you can comfortably stand up
to. Okay, let me word it a little bit better for you. Because the way that I think of it is more, you should have confidence in yourself to be able to withstand anything that is thrown at you. Even, within measure. Because whenever it comes to quote unquote, an attack that you've never seen before or something like that, technically every attack has a form, which is load, measure distance, and then action, whether it be a punch, chop, headbutt, whatever. So if you know the basics, realistically, you can defend yourself about pretty much anything. I mean, obviously, hand-to-hand to, I don't know, a shotgun blast, no, you're not going to do very well. But
I think what I was trying to go for is that going back to the every time you enter a room, you measure everybody.
Yeah.
That's something I don't think women do it nearly as much as men do, but I think it's because that as a man, our function is to protect.
Oh no, that's just species. That's literally just species. All males are there to defend.
But I think where I'm going with it is, I think that it's losing. Guys just don't do that anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But part of that has to do with the way society is now. I'm going to get sued. Oh, I'm going to go to jail. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
But I was raised to when you sit down at a restaurant, I always sit facing the door, or where I have a view of the entrances.
Oh yeah.
So I know what's happening, coming in. Well, and things like that I don't see happening. Very often.
That's like the wife and I. In our house, I don't care where she sleeps. I don't care. I really don't. Doesn't bother me any. Nothing like that.
You sleep by the door, or on the side facing the door.
Well, in our house, the way that the bed sits, it doesn't matter which side I'm on. I can immediately get to the door.
Right.
So but I set the bed very specifically for that. She does not know this. She probably will now, but she does not know this. I set the beds very specifically It is equidistant on either side of every wall, dead center of the back wall, because I can go on any side and immediately get to the door.
Yeah.
And so, but when we're at hotels or we're at her best friend's house down in Texas or whatever, dude, I am right next to the door.
Yep.
I do not care. I am next to the door. And so her and I actually had an argument over this one day because generally speaking, in most hotel rooms, the air conditioner is on the back wall next to the window.
Yep.
I keep our room, house, doesn't matter if it's a room, a house, or even in the car. I have it at a balmy 60 degrees. I will put on more covers.
As it should.
Exactly. Her, on the other hand, she wants to be baking herself. So I'm like, no, we're not doing that. She's like, well, can I at least sleep next to the door because it's warmer over there? And I was like, absolutely not.
No,
not at all. But you're right. There's a generational gap of where men and women, whether they play the quote unquote masculine side or even the more feminine side, whether it be male to male or female to female, whatever your orientation happens to be, there is a whole matter of people. There's a whole generation of people that completely forget about home defense, or even protecting the ones you love, because you see it all the time. There's always like those emergencies where it's like, oh, this guy was a hero. He went and saved his daughter in a raging fire, went and saved his wife, or a grandmother that was trying to get out, or, an elderly lady, elderly man, whatever, making sure somebody defends the house, whatever, whether it be an apartment complex or, somebody that's just passing by. The thing is, those are the sensationalized ones. But every day, there are deaths that could be easily avoidable besides people's own stupidity.
Yeah.
And Darwin Awards and all that. But besides their own stupidity, there's a lot of deaths that can be easily not had you had just a little bit of spatial awareness. And that's kind of what's going away.
Dude, the lack of spatial awareness nowadays is incredible.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like what you're talking about, knowing where the exits are or sleeping next to the door or, stuff like that. That's all spatial awareness. And that seems like a instinct that is going extinct.
Yeah.
Because, you and I talk about common sense. I know I'm stupid. Don't get me wrong. I am not smart at all. I decide to give myself information on topics to make me feel a little bit more secure in those facts, but I'm not smart at all. No, I'm street smart. I am not smart at all. But you can do little things in your life to make you live a whole lot longer.
Oh yeah.
In just actions or reactions even.
It goes back to us sizing everybody in the room.
Yes.
Like that's also spatial awareness. I tag all the people who are potential dangers to me. And the people I'm with, or even strangers in the store that I don't even know, but I know that they're not going to be able to defend themselves.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing.
I walk in a room, I tag everybody in the room, and I keep tabs on them throughout the entire time that I'm there that are potentially a danger for me or anybody else that's there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's also kind of the flip side. There's not really flip side, but like in that same line, from 2005 all the way until now, women and men that are trying to advocate for women's rights and stuff like that, they're like, oh, chivalry is dead. No, it's not being taught, but it's still there, and that has everything to do with spatial awareness.
Yep.
Like for instance, I'm going to ask you, if you're walking with a lady down the street, right? You're walking down the street on the sidewalk. Who's closest to the street?
I am.
You would not believe the amount of people that don't realize that.
I do that with anybody I'm with, though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, yes, it's more prominent with, if you're walking with a lady. But, like, even my little brother that lives with me, like, if we're walking down the street, I make sure I'm next to the highway.
Yeah.
It's just, that's just how I was raised, though.
Dude, like, okay. No, actually, this is a great kind of like segue. They're in the spatial awareness thing. In a group of guys, everybody already knows. Even if you have not like talked to them very specifically, you already know instinctually who is the one that if crap hits the fan, who can I depend on?
Yeah.
You already know.
100%.
Whether that be you in the group or that be your best friend or be somebody who's been brought to the friend group, whatever. Yep. That's all in the, in the spatial awareness, where there would be, sizing everybody up, stuff like that. Because like in each group, there's always a fighter. Now, some groups, there are multiple fighters, but there is varying degrees of fighters.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a 6'6" guy that's buried down on both of us, more than likely you are going to go, hey, I got you back, but you're going to have to handle that.
You got that.
Exactly.
I got you, but I'm going to need you to get in there because that is fucking
exactly. It's kind of the same thing of like, if there's a guy that's even like anywhere in between the both of us as far as height goes, it's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you start, like, once again, you start sizing him up, go, okay, he's got a little bit longer reach. 6 might have a little bit of an issue with the longer reach, but then again, he's got short legs. He's just going to be able to wrap right around and he'll be fine. There is so many plot points whenever it comes to figuring out what a room will bring to you that probably, I would say, like, barring obviously military, first responders, whether it be, PD, fire department, EMTs, stuff like that, barring those guys that are in active, quote unquote, active danger on a consistent basis, and even hunters. I'll even put that, hunters and fishers, they've got to deal with, fishers not so much, obviously. They, needless to say, but they can deal with a whole bunch of crap that, you would never deal with on land.
Yeah.
Obviously. But those guys, those men and women that are putting themselves in danger on a regular basis, arguably taking those out of the account. Everybody else, there's probably a good 70% that doesn't do that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, there's probably a good 70%. Now, realistically, it probably could be like 64, 30, whatever. It could be like a 60-40. But the thing is that, like, if I go to Walmart and there is, as I'm there's an active shooter, I don't have a pistol on me because at Walmart you can't carry. I have a whole problem with that in my own fact, but whatever. Because it's a corporation's decision, not the law's decision, which is a whole nother. It's a whole nother thing, dude.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that one.
I don't want to get into that. That's
a way longer conversation,
dude. That's a rabbit hole that I don't think has an end. Anyway, if there's an active shooter, unfortunately for everybody else, I am making sure my person and whoever I am with is safe. Everybody else, I'm sorry, deal with it yourself.
But that goes back, okay, if I'm by myself and I don't have, say, family or, somebody like that with me, then it's a little bit different. Because if I have the opportunity to do something, I would try my best. If I'm by myself.
Oh, my bad.
If I'm with somebody that I care for dearly, then absolutely I'm taking myself and them I'm getting them.
This is a big difference between you and me in only realistically one fact, and that's because I have a family to come home to. I've got 2 kids.
That's true.
So I have to be very measured in the way that I handle
Yeah.
things. Now, back whenever I didn't have kids, oh yeah. If there was a time that I could actually do something, oh absolutely. I was knee deep in it. Now, did they get me in trouble quite a bit? Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know how many times my
Been
wife
in
yelled
trouble
at
a
me.
few times. Yeah.
I don't know how many times my wife has yelled at me. But then
Yeah.
again, like if I was like, say I didn't have my wife, obviously didn't have the kids, stuff like that, I would not be working to where I'm working now. I would be a bouncer. Because needless to say, I like to fight. And there is no shortage of fights whenever you're a bouncer,
No, there's
especially
not.
in this town, dude.
Yeah.
Between August and May,
Being a bouncer here would be fun though.
yeah,
It's just a bunch of dumb college kids.
well, yeah, but that's the thing though, is that like, yeah, it's a bunch of dumb college kids, and like, I know it sounds almost asinine for me to say because both of us have talked about, dude, I hate people. I hate a
I
lot of people.
genuinely dislike people
So
from the
like
bottom of my heart.
me
most of
having to
the
deal
time.
with the worst of people, like whenever they're drunk.
Yeah.
You know, at the time probably would be so bad. It would be bad because at that time, whenever I didn't have my wife and I didn't have my kids, dude, I had a hair trigger for a temper. Like you didn't have to do very much, and I was all right. Pull up your dick beaters, let's dance. Like I was ready to go.
It took me a long time to get to like I wouldn't say get rid of, but suppress my temper.
No,
When I
it's
was
not
younger,
suppression because I don't. I mean, I can't really speak for you necessarily, but like for me, it's not suppression because I have a constant level of anger that I've always had. But
okay, yeah, you're right.
whenever
It's
it
not.
comes to the
It's learning how to control it and
acting
not.
on it,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Acting.
the
Yeah.
acting on it part. Basically, what I've told my wife and I've told a whole bunch of people is like, I used to have a temper really really bad. It did not take very much, but now my bullcrap meter is so high in the roof that I just deal with a whole bunch of stuff and just don't care. But that's mostly because it's kind of gotten to the point now. Well, actually, it's gotten to the point. I don't know. I probably turned either 22 or 23, and I just had like an epiphany moment of, I really don't give a damn. I have the only thing I
Yep.
give a damn about is right here, whether it be my wife, my kids, or myself. But other than that, if you don't like me, oh well. I don't care.
I feel like there
And
comes a time where everybody should get to that point.
well,
I'm not
I
going to
mean-
say it happens to everybody because it doesn't. But
dude,
there's
yeah.
a point where you should get that way of like
Well, that's all part of growing up, dude.
screw
Like
everybody else.
yeah, like that's the whole part of like growing up. Like you need to be comfortable in your own skin, and that's part
Yeah.
of the problem nowadays with everybody needing to be in a group. They're not
Yep.
comfortable in their own skin of like their own quote unquote problems or their own misgivings or their own flaws that they can't physically live with themselves, so they have to be with somebody that is technically pretty close to what they're having to deal, what they're own
Yeah.
having to deal with. Now, I don't care what you want to be called. I don't care what group you want to be in. I don't care even if you want to be in a group. But you need to be comfortable in your own self. Otherwise, you're not going to have lasting relationships in any form or fashion. Whether that be sexual, marital, friendly, work, anything.
Yeah.
Because if you're not comfortable in your own skin, then you're showing a face to somebody. Then you're showing another face to another person. Then you're showing another face to this person. Because, like, I don't know how many times I've seen YouTube shorts and, like, all these posts of, like, it's like, send an emoji if you have different attitude. You have your friend attitude. You have your husband or wife
Yeah.
attitude. You have your work attitude and stuff like that. It's like, no, I will
I have one attitude and it's pissed off, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
just a
much.
constant.
Yeah,
It's just pissed off and screw everybody. Not everybody.
once again,
like
that leads
most people.
right back into the whole situational awareness, because instinct-wise, for most males and some females, there is a constant level of violence that we live at. Constant level.
Yeah.
So, and that's instinctual. That is ingrained from us being hunters and gatherers all the way to whenever we were dealing with freaking saber-toothed tigers trying to eat our butts. Like,
you didn't have to say it like that. That was a little weird.
I mean, I can be weird. I don't care. I can care less. Clip me out of context. Please. Please. I will just live off that viral money, homie. I love it. Let's go. I do not care. But like that, since we don't have that underlying line of violence anymore, we're all devolving into the groups. Like, you know, since I don't belong because I can't prove myself in whatever form of combat you want to consider, because that's all humans have ever been, is nothing but combat.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's war, doesn't matter if it's verbal, doesn't matter if it's like, dude, there's wars between scientists. Like, I mean, we are a
warring species.
Warring species. Like,
yeah. It's
if
just
we
how
don't
we're
take
built.
ground with a fight, it's weird to us.
Yeah.
And so, and now I will say that is us being American as well, comparatively to other countries. They don't live that way.
That's true to a certain extent, but
I am talking about like now, like now, but like through the, what is it, 300,000 years that humans have been on Earth, and I'm talking about Homo erectus, not, any of the other species. We haven't been at war at all times. Like, it may have not been day to day, but every
consistently.
Yeah, like every year
we're at a constant
time. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You can pick a year, and there is some level of violence.
I think
always,
as a species and a society now, it's gotten to the point where we're almost shaming being that way.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like,
well, I mean, like, I understand that customs evolve. Like, I understand that societies and customs evolve. It's bound to happen.
Right.
Because we learn more about things and stuff like that, because we cannot stop ourselves from learning. It's really simple. That's how we have lived our whole lives, is learning something new. But arguably, whenever it comes to war and stuff like that, the reason why we have such a gun-shy thing about it now is because it's televised. If it wasn't televised, dude, we wouldn't care.
I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad thing.
Oh, no.
For that to be shamed. I'm just saying that I think there's a certain point where it's almost a necessary thing. Maybe not war, but
violence.
In a violence,
not violence,
not violence,
authority.
But like in like a
to a certain extent.
Like there authority has to be some sort of. We can't just be wholly peaceful all the time. Like, that's not how
there's
we're
only one
built.
Actually, come to think of it, there's not one person on this earth that was like wholly peaceful in any sense of the fact. Even Gandhi is known as like one of the most peaceful guys in the world. Dude, he used to whoop.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he kind of had to. I mean, he didn't become who he was without either getting whooped or doing the whooping, whether it be the fact.
If we're to the point where everybody is totally peaceful, like completely all the time, then we have just like there would be no furtherment of our species, if that makes sense. Because
there wouldn't be humans.
Our readiness to like contradict one another and argue and things like this, that's what leads to the furtherment of a species. if none of that is happening,
whether
then
it be research and development, whether it be learning
exactly.
skills, whether it be, realistically, everything that we do on a regular day-to-day basis is either a learned skill or learning a skill.
Yep.
I know people used to say for the longest time that gaming is detriment to your health and all this and, rots your brain, same with TV. But the thing is, it's all in how you use it.
Yep.
For instance, I know it is absolutely stupid for me to say, but I didn't learn how to shoot a gun by going to shoot guns. I did not learn that because my mom, in particular, hated guns until I turned 18.
Yeah.
Until I turned 18, she hated guns. I couldn't have a Nerf gun. I couldn't have a bow and arrow. I couldn't have anything. But then whenever I started hanging out with my brother a whole lot, one guy that I considered my brother, best childhood friend, I didn't get to do, I got to do things, but I didn't get to do stuff like that, like power sports and stuff like that. That was all through my brother. Like, he had dirt bikes, he had go-karts, he had, like, his grandpa had a gun. He'd go hunting every year, go duck hunting with his grandpa and stuff like that. So I got exposed to that and I really liked it. So my mom kind of had to like cater her own mind to, okay, I'm going to kind of have to deal with it. Now, still didn't get to have a gun in the house. I had baseball bats at every entrance though. Actually, a funny little tangent here. There was a bat that I used to have whenever I played baseball. It was called the Wicked Spalding bat. I wanted it really, really bad because it was a very hefty bat, and I was one of the only ones that could hold it in my group. Well, I got it, used it, and then finally I outgrew it. So it just sat in the shed for the longest time. Well, I may or may not have thought that I could forge that into being a sword. So I cut the top of it into, put it into a point, and just hammered the ever-living snot out of it to make somewhat of a point. And I hid it in the shed for like 6 months. I'd go out there and play with it all the time, and then whenever I heard my mom coming out, I would just switch bats. And then my mom found it. She goes, "What is this?" And I was like, "Well, I tried to make a sword because I didn't think a bat would work so well in a house invasion." And she goes, "You are 11. Do not think of this. You need to stop. That is my job." And I said, "Yeah, but I'm man of the house. So it kind of falls on me." But anyway, tangent aside, whenever, like you're saying, any advancement in our society in any form of fact stems in some way of conflict. Not necessarily aggression.
It's debate. It's arguments. It's
Well, like it all stems from conflict. So, like cancer, for instance, we've been fighting that forever, and so we're trying to advance into it, trying to advance with it to get rid of it.
Yeah.
That is technically a form of combat. How many times have they been like, we're trying to combat cancer? We can't stop ourselves from saying it.
That's the normal thing to say when somebody is, has it, is they're battling cancer or they're fighting cancer.
Yep.
That
comes down to the very baser instincts of mankind. Now, due to us advancing a lot, we have, messed up the ecosystem quite a bit. But then again,
we're getting in all the hot topics today.
I don't care. Anybody who is watching this, all you need to do is go into the description section of our YouTube and read the description. You will know everything you need to know about this podcast.
That is true.
Whenever it comes to people talking about, people talking about we need to help with global warming, climate change, stuff like that. Yes, we do. Absolutely. I would really like for my kids to have a place to live that's not a swamp of just sewage and terrible decisions that, quote unquote, we made. But technically, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Technically, humans are a natural disaster.
You could view it that way. That is true.
Now, is it the worst disaster that's ever hit the planet? Possibly. Because we are the only species that has been able to consistently change the climate we live in.
Yeah.
But that...
I had a crazy thought the other day. This is a weird tangent, but crazy thought, right?
Dude, this is nothing but tangents. Let's be completely honest.
So, what if humanity... Okay, let me start off like this. Like we've been, everybody's always talking about aliens and this and that. What if humans are the aliens? Like,
I've heard this before.
What if? Really?
Yeah.
So I'm not alone in this.
No.
Sweet. Okay. Think about it.
You're not as autistic as you think you are. Okay, you're good.
So us aliens, we already killed our previous planet.
Oh.
And we ran away from it and came here. Then the Ice Age, or whatever you want to say, killed most of us off. All the history records and shit of us coming over here got lost.
Yeah.
And then we just restarted into this human civilization of...
Well,
we think
see, there's quite a few counter thoughts to this, because I've heard...
I know there is, but
bits and pieces of that. Because it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, then why did we just learn about lasers? Or we just learned about propulsion systems?
But all of our history was gone.
Yeah, but we had to come from somewhere. What? Did we send the stupid people?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
We sent the ones that eat glue to another planet. We're going to try and save the one we're on. Keep all the smart people, send all the stupid people somewhere else.
We sent the stupid and aggressive people.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean...
And now we're just our own, like sub-faction of aliens.
Yeah, I mean, that would
we're
be...
just the aggressive, stupid ones.
Yeah, right.
And the smart ones are back where we actually came from.
Well, I mean, like, there's always been an argument in that fact that we are the aliens, because it doesn't really make any sense that we got the
only
keys.
Sentient.
Yeah, like we got the keys to the planet, that kind of thing. Because the amount of stupid stuff we do on a day-to-day basis, there is no reason why we should even have the keys to the planet. We should not be the apex.
No.
Now,
technically,
I was going to say, technically we're not, because if we go in any other ecosystem besides
if you take intelligence and creativity and innovation out of the equation, we are not the apex.
We are dumb monkeys. We are dumb hairless monkeys. That is what we are.
But you add in that stuff, and we become the apex of the planet.
Yeah, because I mean, even this right here, the thumb has made drastic difference in the way that we do stuff.
Yep.
And so, like because there's those people that, there's the religious side of Darwinism, right? Everybody says that, we came from God, so therefore we're made in his image, and he made all the animals in the world in 7 days, all that. All okay.
Yeah.
Every religion has some creation story. Every religion does. And then you've got the Darwinism thing of like, we evolved from monkeys. And one of my favorite quote unquote arguments that you get from very, very religious groups, whether it be, it could be anybody. Well, then why is there still monkeys? Fair enough. Why is there chimpanzees? Why are there, gorillas and stuff like that? But then if you look into the science of it and you go, oh, that's a completely different genus.
Yeah. That's just, if you're taking that theory into consideration, it's not about whether they're still monkeys or not. It's a very, very long time ago. We diverted the same thing.
Yeah, we diverted from the
split.
Yeah, we diverted from the genus. Yeah. Whether it be classified as a mutation or classified as
adaptation
adaptation or a DNA change, which technically is a mutation. I know. Don't crucify me in the comments, okay? I know. But
I hope they do.
They're going to anyway, both of us. I don't care.
Not me. I'm perfect.
Dang, I could smell you from here with that amount of bullshit. Good Lord. But, that's that like baser instinct of humans, talking about, baser instincts of us wanting to know where we came from. Mm-hmm. We got to know. Because we have to know everything. I finally
figure it out, and it's something stupid.
Yeah. Well, see, what the part of the quote unquote theory that you're getting into is there was a couple of scientific papers that had there was a certain % chance that we are alien in the fact, not in the alien of, take me to your leader, blah, 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 blah. We made our own civilization. We degraded the heck out of that and sent our guys over here.
Are you talking about the theory of like our biological, like our, how do I word it? Like we came in on like space debris, basically.
Yeah. Because there is bacteria in space debris.
Yeah.
And if you look at any other planet that we have looked at, there is no other life that we know. I mean, a couple of years, last year we got the whole,
Don't just say last year. It's been every year for the last 60 years.
Well, no,
we've always gotten an article
what I'm saying
about.
Is last year, the United States government decided to go, hey, by the way, aliens are real. And left it at that. And walked away. So like, but then again, there's always been with humans, we have always looked to the stars and go, what's up there?
Yeah.
In some form of fact, we have always looked at that. Even in the most baser knowledges of like, unga bunga, I need food, I need shelter. At some point in time, in between going to sleep and hoping to see the next morning, they looked up at the stars and go, what the heck is that? That doesn't exist down here. What is that?
There's fire up there.
We didn't even know it was
fires.
Of course, then again, the stars that we, wish upon now are already dead.
Technically, yes. Well, maybe not.
A lot of them are. If they're bright enough to reach, if they're bright enough to reach here, they're already dead. Except for the sun.
Yeah, we just don't know it yet. It hasn't been 8 minutes.
You're right. Because it takes 8 minutes to get to 8 minutes for light to reach from the sun to here. Oh, yes.
Glad you got that.
Yeah, of course I got that. I am ADHD and ADD, and I decided to turn my brain into an encyclopedia and a Rolodex at the same time. All right. Well, now that we've gone through, an hour worth of tangents, weird facts of the day. And I've got 3 today. And it's more today I learned, realistically. So, on April 24th, 2026, SDS NRAM introduced the Tokarev TSP-12. It is a stock pump shotgun, or ironically, butt pump shotgun. It is a 12 gauge with a unique charging mechanism. You pull the buttstock straight back to cycle the action, and the spring assisted pump action has also 1+5 capacity. Cycles through the action by pulling buttstock or pistol grip rearward, and then advancing through. The MSRP on it is only $300.
I just want to know how that makes sense.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, there is charging handles in every consideration.
Yeah, but it's not very ergonomic to pull
judging by the pictures that I saw,
back.
Well, judging by the pictures that I saw, it has the way the stock is built, it has a grip on top, so all you have to do is it's already actuated. So like all you have to do, you literally just press in. That's it. You shoot, press in, shoot, press in, shoot, press in. That's it. Because originally, you and I thought, at one point in time, if there is a buttstock, that means that you have to strap the shotgun to yourself.
Yeah.
But you're using the gases from shooting to compress and shoot again.
Right.
Because it's actuated on its own, technically.
So technically it's not a... Oh, okay, I see. It's not a slide shotgun.
No, it's not a slide.
It's not a pump at all.
No.
It's they basically do what modern fully automatic
semi-automatic
rifles and shotguns and everything else do.
Yeah.
The gas blowback from the ignition of the round blows the slide back.
Yes,
and then turn when it closes.
You can to load it initially, and if you want to go ahead and do it, you use the stock to load the round.
Interesting.
Very odd little thing, but innovation, I guess, has no limits.
It should.
There's a lot of things that could be considered as that. There's 97% of social media is that.
I would agree.
You shouldn't have posted that. You did anyway. Real simple.
Yeah.
Next topic that I learned today, and it's not really learned. It's more I've mulled over in my head without consciously thinking about it, and that is that dinosaurs are not oil.
Sure they are.
No, they are not.
Tell us why.
Most oil reserves are formed between 65 and 252 million years ago. While this does overlap with the dinosaur times, oil is a marine sediment which is made of remains of algae and plankton. There is obviously skeletons that have been unearthed of prehistoric reptiles such as plesiosaurs and ichthyosaurs, which neither count as dinosaurs, which have been found in the same geological layer as oil that may have contaminated the oil deposit. So they just happen to be there in happenstance that have been found in that have been in those same areas. But to say that they've been made, the oil is made by dinosaurs is like saying bread is made from insects because an odd one occasionally falls in the flour mill. Yes, I took that from a specific source. I loved it because he said that exactly. Because if you think about it, organic meat does not stay for very long. Whether it be scavengers or anything else, we have unearthed our own species, whether it be in mummification or archaeological digs. There's not oil just hanging out there. Yes, it hasn't been long enough, but there's not any meat left over. There might be skin and like remnants, but it's not left over unless we preserve it like the Egyptians. It doesn't get preserved in and of itself through the natural earth moving. It's not how that works. And so my stupid smart brain was thinking about that, for years in the back end, just sitting on the back burner, and I read that one and I was like, not so crazy as I thought it was. Let's go. Next one. Recently at the newest car show in Europe, there is a all new electric hypercar that is globally accepted. Because there is the Lotus. I showed you a while ago the Lotus, like
That's been
Enzigo or something like that. And it was like made
but that
like
came out a while ago.
Yeah, but this one is the first globally accepted fully electric hypercar. It is for electric as well. The Electrek, which is the company. It is called the Denza Z.
For the people that don't want to look it up, it is a hatchback hypercar.
It is a hatchback luxury car. Luxury car.
Four-door hatchback.
Yeah.
Hypercar.
Around, and this is undisclosed, we don't know for sure, but it says supposedly it's around 1,000 horsepower. 0 to 60 is less than 2 seconds. Top speed not confirmed, but probably is 200 plus because it's a hypercar, classified as a hypercar. So therefore, it would have to go in excess of like 220 miles an hour at a sustained rate, not just going.
It got there going downhill with a tailwind.
And then it has a specific charger. I don't know how to say that. I'm not even going to try because I've already butchered enough in this. It supposedly fast charges in 5 minutes.
I don't believe it.
122 kilowatt hour battery. I don't believe it would charge in 5 minutes.
I don't believe it.
Range is roughly around 372 miles. MSRP is only a very cheap $134,000.
Relatively though, like
for a hypercar that is cheap.
Yeah, if we're talking about the world of hypercars, $134,000 is
because you've got the Regera, which the Regera is what, $2.6 million or something like that.
Yep.
And then you've got the Agera. Yes,
Agera,
obviously from Pagani and Koenigsegg, but they're also $1.7 million. What is it? The Veyron or the Chevron or whatever, the Bugatti. It was
Chiron.
The Chiron. It was like 3.8.
Yeah, something like that.
3.8 for the V10 of the future.
Yeah. Have you seen? I believe it's Koenigsegg. Their new motors that they came out with.
No, I have not. What
they are like? Let me make sure I'm getting this right. So basically, they are like, it's like a disc. And I believe they're in the.
Oh, I see. It's called the dark matter.
Yeah.
What?
And they're put in the wheels.
It's an electric motor?
Yeah, it's an electric motor. They're supposed to be like 500 horsepower.
800.
800 horsepower.
800 and 922 pounds of force. Foot-pounds.
And they're putting one in each wheel. Or on each wheel.
Huh. So what? You're looking at
You're looking at near 3,000.
Yeah, you're looking at 3,000 horsepower. I can see that becoming a problem real fast. In a couple different ways. a couple different ways. Because how many times have you had a flat tire on one side, right?
Yeah.
It only takes one engine going out and you having a big issue.
Yeah. Well, maybe not though.
Well, I
One
guess if
engine goes out, you have 3 more. I mean, you're not going to be able to move quickly with just 3 because it's going to throw everything off.
Each one would have its own actuator. And I can already foresee that being a problem. Because that's the whole reason why we don't have speed racer cars. Having independent suspensions and stuff like that, we can't do it yet. We haven't found a material that's strong enough to be able to withstand doing that and being able to be controlled enough. Because I can only see, like, that just seems like, what in the world? That would seem like, so they would each one would have to have their own integral system to run independently, but also run in tandem of each other.
Which is not that surprising.
No, not really, because, I mean, computers can do a whole bunch of crap. Plus, it's all electric, so
I don't know that there's one for each wheel. Let me just get that straight. That's just what I'm assuming is how they're using it, because the way it looks like it's going to be...
I don't care about your cookies. Go away. Let's see.
I'm not sure how they're using it. I assume
automotive E-grade 6 feet. Let's see.
I believe it's for each wheel. They're using one.
Max motor RPM is 8,500. Radial flux, axial flux configuration mixed between radial and axial. So what? They're so what? They just made the engine, but they don't know what the heck they're going to put it in yet?
I guess so.
To complement the engine and the LSTT, evolutionary leap in electric propulsion. The R&D team explored the limits of electric propulsion and created the dark matter E-motor, 800 horsepower, patent pending, reaxial flux. Oh. So with the dark matter E-motor fitted and the Gamera drivetrain now lighter, it has a smaller footprint and is more engaging, which would mean... No, this is a singular motor. This is not going to be on every tire because it's put into the drivetrain. And if it's put into the drivetrain, the Gamera, if I remember correctly,
I see. I understand.
Set up for a rear engine, mid-engine or rear engine format.
Right.
Okay, that makes more sense because I was like, I don't know how that's going to work because that just seems like it's going to be a problem, just like what we were trying to do with trying to make the speed racing cars.
Yeah.
Because there's a guy that made them. There's a guy that fully tested having drive line, each tire being able to do something different if it needed to. And it worked.
They are using two per car though. There's one on each side of the motor.
Okay, that makes more sense because what I'm actually, you know what? This is just conspiracy theory, kind of to a certain extent. They could do it easily, but they don't want to because you got to be able to pay for electricity. But there's a good possibility that car could technically charge itself if they do it on either side.
Wasn't Elon Musk was doing some stuff with that a while back?
Well, yeah, that's what his Tesla dual motor was supposed to be.
Well, he was originally trying to do it on his semi-truck series. I don't remember what that was called,
Oh yeah, the semi trucks.
but he was using the brakes on the semi-truck to charge the batteries.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So
supposed to
he
be done
was
with friction and
Hurdle.
what, like those flux cores or whatever.
something like that. I'm not sure exactly how it all works.
Yeah,
But
but the thing is, though, is that there's a lot of things we could do that we can't because it's
it's not
too
cost
consumer
efficient.
friendly, right? It's too consumer
Yeah.
friendly. Like, there's been people uh, that have used like gears and tires on the inside of electric cars and the inside of their tires that just sit there and run and charge up the batteries so
Yeah.
they never have to charge it realistically if they're at a sustained rate of speed.
I mean, they will eventually have to charge it, but it
Yeah.
makes it a
It
lot.
can extend the
slower.
range by like,
Yeah.
I think it was like 7 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I ran out of battery. No, I didn't. Just keep rolling. We'll be fine. We'll make
Yeah,
it to the
just
next
coast.
stop. Yeah, just coast. You got it.
I
Dude.
heard that this kind of ties into that. I heard this story a long time ago, and it was from an old man, and he was telling me about his buddy. And I don't know how true this is, but apparently this guy was a very smart gentleman, and he figured out a way to use, like, he made his own oil for his vehicle.
Yeah.
And
That
he
kind of
was
ties into the whole dinosaurs aren't oil because you can technically make your own oil, combustible oil that's like fossil fuels with compost bins.
no, not combustible, like motor oil.
Oh,
He made his own motor oil
yeah,
out
you
of
can do that because I
don't
mean,
know.
making lubricants aren't really that hard. I
no.
mean, okay, they're hard because not the general public can do it.
Yeah.
But like, if you're smart enough, you can make a lubricant out of very, very cheap products that will do the exact same as like 50-30. I mean, 530, like five-way 30. You can easily make 510. Actually, 510 is one of the easiest ones to make.
But apparently, this guy made his own oil, engine oil, and he had this old VW bus that he tested it in, and he put it in and didn't change the oil. He added more to it, obviously, because naturally oil burns over time.
Yeah.
But he got 100,000 miles in this VW bus without changing the oil once.
That doesn't really surprise me because, like, you can make.
Apparently, one of the major oil companies, I can't remember which one he told me, bought him out for it.
Yeah.
And didn't sell it.
Yeah.
Because it was, they were scared it was going to keep them from making money.
So, in 2000 and like it would have been like 2010, we were having another oil crisis, and people in Australia were taking their cars to a guy that was using vegetable oil to be able to use in an engine that was just a combustible engine. Vegetable oil and vegetable oil waste, and buying it from restaurants to be able to power his car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't hear very much about him anymore because he was bought out and he cannot talk about it anymore. There's like 60 cars that he did this to, and they have all vanished off of the face of the earth.
I wonder why.
Yeah, because ExxonMobil can't really sell their gas so dang high if they have other ways of propulsion. Of course, it's like what is it? Hyundai. They have that new hydrogen-based car. It's not new, but like they've
not heard about this.
They have hydrogen fuel cells that you can fuel a car with. It is
I've heard of the hydrogen fuel cells, but I've never heard of them used in a car.
I think it's Hyundai that made their car that way. There's not very many of them, but the way that we get hydrogen is by baking it off of water. And banking it off of water, well, water is a finite resource, if you didn't know. Very finite. We only have so much on this little blue marble of ours. It's kind of like table salt. Technically, you can get salt from the ocean. It's not cost effective for people who sell it to do it.
You can get it, but it hasn't become an expensive enough commodity to outweigh the cost of pulling it out of the ocean.
Yeah, no kidding. Just imagine having a dredger that is just picking up water and just boiling it off instantaneously.
Yep.
Dude, I want to build it.
It wouldn't be that hard.
No, electrical coils. That's all you have to do.
It would not be.
And have heat-treated steel or stainless steel even. Because stainless steel, you'd be able to get a whole lot more out of it.
The only difficult part would be storage for the salt, because you would have to make a tank large enough and power coils large enough to boil that much water at the same time.
Yeah.
While also storing the salt at the bottom.
That is a big boat.
Yeah, that's a very large.
That is an aircraft carrier that boils water.
Right.
It is a floating city. But that
Toyota.
Toyota.
Hyundai.
I knew it was over there towards the west coast.
Oh wait, no, you're right. There's a Toyota, Hyundai. There's a Honda.
Yeah, there's not.
Pretty sure that's it.
From what I saw, it was Hyundai, but I didn't know that there was very many others that had been made. But yeah, there's a couple of. I guess we all learned something today. There's a couple of companies that are building with hydrogen, which is kind of. See, my whole thing about hydrogen is we all learned about hydrogen with the Hindenburg. I mean, now Hindenburg was open air.
That's a little different.
Open air in canvas pockets that were bound to leak.
Yeah.
All powered by an engine that was combustible.
Yeah.
With a very volatile gas.
That whole concept was kind of doomed to fail.
Yeah, and it's funny because like even Family Guy has made spoofs about it. You know, like it's funny now. Like I can only imagine.
Great idea.
Well, like
in practice, not so great.
Yeah, because like imagine if that didn't happen. We wouldn't necessarily have planes because we already found a really good way of transport.
I think we would still have planes eventually.
Yeah, but I don't think they would be passenger planes. Like, you know,
I think so.
No, like passenger planes, like say from continent to continent. Yes, because the range on an airship is not that far. But like the plane that goes from Oklahoma to Dallas.
Yeah,
that would be an airship. Because there are people. Well, because there's always somebody that will pay for an experience.
Yeah,
that would be an experience in and of itself.
I'm not going to say that they wouldn't be around for enjoyment purposes, but think about like modern trains.
Fair enough.
Like, yes, we have trains that go at 50 miles an hour on tracks.
Yeah.
Or we could make 300 mile an hour fucking bullet trains.
Yes.
And get there quicker.
Yeah, but if you pay attention to that simple fact, you realize that is only in Japan.
That is only in Japan.
And that's because they need it.
Yeah.
There's so many people packed on that little island.
I don't know. I think it's just kind of one of those things where it's like planes would have overtaken.
Yeah, due to just ingenuity. I mean, yeah, I know because realistically,
speed, efficiency.
Yeah, and realistically speaking, planes turned out to be one of the better ways of shipping stuff. Besides having obviously a shipping vessel that has Connex boxes on it that can hold a bajillion tons.
Yeah, but you also got to think that that's waterbound only.
Yeah.
once you get it to the next continent,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to transport it somewhere.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
something.
And you can only use so many trucks.
Yeah.
But, there's also, like, it's really funny because, like, the United States, Britain, Germany, ironically Poland now, and Japan, arguably they didn't really invent very much stuff unless it had to do with health for war or killing unaliving the other guy better. And then we just shipped it everywhere else.
Pretty much.
Or stole it like the Chinese do. That's insane to me. Most of their crafts, doesn't matter if it's land or water or air, has been stolen from somebody else. I guess it is pretty cheap to,
that though. It's everything. Like
it is pretty
Chinese
cheap to
knockoff of anything you could ever possibly want.
Yeah, I mean it is cheap to do R&D if you don't have to do R&D and you just take it from somebody else.
Exactly. So they spend all their money on the cheapest materials and, and production that they could possibly have.
Yeah.
So they're not spending money on R&D.
Oh,
and also they're not spending money on anything else either.
Yeah, no. Half their country's starving. Well, not as bad as Korea, North Korea. Have you ever seen North Korea? Have you ever seen North and South Korea at night?
Yeah, like the Google Maps.
Dude, that is insane.
Yeah, there's it's like a defined line too.
Oh yeah, you see capitalism down to the south, and you see communism up top. There's like 3 lights. And then you see capitalism down here where it's like everywhere's lights.
Yeah.
Did you hear, I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 years ago at the observation post for Seoul, there is a Starbucks now. So you can look out and look at North Korea and go, isn't it good over here?
That's hilarious.
I was like, man, I know that humans love to take a dig at each other, but capitalism does it on a different scale, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we do it on a different scale.
How many Burger King and drink Starbucks and watch you?
Exactly. Oh, you're starving? I'm sorry. I have a burger over here that will put me in a diabetic coma tonight.
I have a triple cheeseburger and a chocolate mocha.
Yep.
Sorry for you.
Oh my God, dude. Of course, there's a lot of stuff like that. Like, even in Roman times, like throwing food over the wall because you've been starving somebody out and having people just come out and go, we surrender. Or you can go the Canadian way. War crime central. Throw cans and cans of food over the no man's land.
Messed up,
and then one day, just use grenades.
That's messed up.
Hey,
they're super smart, but
there are some days where you can only get so pissed off. You've been sent to the meat grinder and you've had buddies sent to the meat grinder for so long, and those guys have been just digging you and digging you and digging you. You know what? I'm going to give you food today. You know what? I'm going to give you food today. You know what? Have a grenade. Like, it's bound to happen.
It got to the point where they were running towards, it was food. So, like, they were running towards these cans of food. And then just one day, they run towards a grenade. It's psychological warfare on another level.
People don't realize as well how much was thrown. There was, on one day, there was like over 2 to 3 tons of food thrown.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, there was like every bit of like 2 to 3 tons of explosives sent the other way.
Yeah.
Of course, that kind of stems in the fact of like, everybody thinks Canadians are like the nicest people in the world. And then if you look and that's skin deep. You look just a little bit under it, dude. They're they're bad people. Like we thought we were bad to the Indians. We thought we were bad to the Native Americans. They're on another level. I don't know. Oh my God. Like the Canadians are insane when it comes to, you know what? That land is not exactly yours anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been trying to fight us for Alaska for the longest time, and then they just recently stopped, not like 60, 70 years ago, because they realized they can't really, contend with our military complex or the way we build stuff. Or
yeah,
they didn't want to have to trudge all the way through British Columbia just to get to it. I mean, to be fair, if anywhere in the world we're going to get invaded, it's going to be Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
But they can't.
Yeah.
They can't.
Good luck.
Dude,
you might get there.
There are people there. There are people that live there for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there's the Inuit culture down there up there that obviously they've been there their whole life, but like their whole community has been there for ages and ages and ages.
Move there.
I know.
And decide that it's fun to live with.
We had
the sun all day and night.
Yeah, I had a driver that left where I worked to go drive for a tourist company there for 8 months during the tourist season. And she told me that there are people there that if it is not negative 27 outside, they are wearing shorts.
No, that's not allowed.
Brother, I am very hardy. I understand that. I can wear shorts in 30 degrees and below. But you get 2 or 3 degrees below 30, man, I'm putting on pants so fast, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like, I can go outside, take my dog out, have no shirt on, wearing pants, good to go.
I don't like being cold.
I don't really care either way.
Like, I like when I would rather it be cold than hot because I can put on more clothes.
Yeah, I know. It's socially bad if you take off too many clothes. Unless you're in a nudist population.
How many of those are out? I mean, probably a lot more than we think.
Just go to California.
It's just, California's just one big nudist colony.
No, dude, I have seen it with my own 2 eyes. It's more towards the northern side, but like there is a crap ton of gun nut people in Cali than there ever has been the ones that don't like them.
Really?
There's a crap ton, dude.
I can see it more in the north.
Well, that's because that's where all the farms are.
Yeah.
That's where most of the farms are. Not like the vineyards and stuff like that. I'm talking like corn, wheat.
I visited San Diego, and there was a nude beach there.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting.
That's like...
I didn't know that was a thing until I walked up on it, and then my parents were like, "Oh, oh,
dude,
we should go back to the hotel now."
Right? There are beaches. Actually, a lot of the nudist beaches. There are nudist beaches, full nude. Then there are, you can be nude if you want to. Then there are government enforced nudist. Like,
that's not a thing.
Yes. If you, there are lifeguards that are paid by the state that if you come in with clothes, you have to leave.
No, that's gotta be a lie.
Government.
I'm looking it up right now.
Enforced. Dude. Beaches. They are rare.
Mostly designated areas areas being clothing optional or
Yes.
tolerated rather than compulsory.
Yes, but
While many
there
beaches
are
are
some that
unofficial or
very
tolerated by local
specifically.
law enforcement, formal government sanctioned or legally protected nude beaches exist primarily in Europe, with only a few specific tolerated spots in the U.S.
Yep. But that's because the French they like their stinky French wiener.
What?
Family Guy. Family Guy. If I can find a clip,
That
I'll
is
play it.
crazy.
I will find that clip, but I sincerely doubt I can find it.
That is just wild.
But yeah, there is
That's
government enforced nude beaches. There are some places that they will kick you off if they see any article of clothing. Now, that obviously doesn't include a towel, because a towel isn't classified as clothing.
That's still wild. It's enforced that you're naked. That's crazy.
Well,
I guess it kind of makes sense.
Well, that part of that
Because
has
it's
to do with with those beaches in that surrounding area. That is a nudist community, like
yeah,
full on the whole town, all times. They're nude, and so like that town's beach is part of their sphere of influence, basically. So like, you don't get to come in town unless you don't have clothes. Which, that's insane to me. The beach, I can kind of understand. A town?
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I am passing through. Does that mean I need to take my clothes off?
Yes.
No, I'm good. I'm not driving over there. Of course, then again, I don't really want to go to France in the first place.
Don't pass go. Don't collect $200.
Do not have clothes on. I should make that the title. Don't pass go. Don't have clothes on. Oh, man. Dude, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing, though. It kind of stems back to what we were talking about earlier. Humans will do anything to be accepted.
Oh, yeah. Very group mentality. Let's all get naked and sing Kumbaya.
That's why there's some scientists there's a lot of scientists that say that like social media is actually degrading us further than anything else that we've ever put up, because arguably we as humans can only withstand roughly about 1,000 human faces that we can genuinely say, I recognize that person.
Yeah.
Now we have everybody, and it is freaking us out. I mean, social media puts added stress on us in the first place, whether it be subconscious or conscious.
I also think it's
for being there.
I think it also takes away from, I mean, obviously it does, but like I think it takes away from having like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like natural moments in person with people.
Yeah, I've got a song that I listen to on a regular basis that actually talks about that.
Like it's like even when you're sitting at dinner with people and everybody's got their cell phone out.
Yeah.
It's like you're at dinner with a group of people.
Yeah.
Don't speak.
Well, so the song that I'm talking about, it's called Overthinker by Enzo.
I heard that the other day.
That song I like a lot because it talks a lot about, like for instance, like the first line out of the gate is any person that just thinks has nothing to do but think thoughts. And eventually that just erodes your mind.
Yeah.
And the guy talks about, now the way things are is if you didn't take a picture of it, and I am cliff noting the ever living crap out of this because I cannot, it's not a song per se to sing to. It's just a good listen. But I'm cliff noting it real bad, but he basically states that unless an event is kind of spoiled for us unless a picture was taken.
Yeah.
And so
if there's not a picture, then there's no proof.
Right, exactly. And it's like we don't
Didn't happen.
And I love that. I do like that song because it makes me get out of my own head for a little bit. And I know that's, so freaking zen meditative crap. I don't care. It might be therapy in of my own sense. I don't know. I don't care. I don't need therapy. You do. But whenever it comes to the way that I have realistically grown up, I'm like one of the last generations I can remember not having the internet at all times. Like I'm one of the last ones. I mean, like I think it's like 2003, 2004 is like the last generation where they remember having to go to the internet, not it always being there.
I remember having to go to the library.
Yeah. My mom, whenever she was trying to get her, I'm going to butcher the ever-living crap out of this, but I think her bachelor's in nursing, she went to the public library almost every week, 2 to 3 times a week. And I would go with her. She would go into a conference room and she would do her homework, do all that stuff. And she would tell me, go pick a book. Okay, I go pick a book. And even if I didn't read all that much, I still read. By far, I can remember one vividly in the whole series I read, and that was Hank. You remember Hank the Great Dane?
What?
Yeah, he was a Great Dane.
Sounds like Hank the Farm Dog or something like that.
Yes, but he was a Great Dane. That was the whole thing. He was a Great Dane that did basically like Ed Goes to Camp. Like he did everything.
Yeah.
He was a farm dog. He was a police dog. He time traveled. He was on a plane. He did, basically, Pee Wee Herman and Mr. Bean as a dog.
Forever.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was a Great Dane. But either way.
I don't remember. I haven't heard about, I don't even remember. Like, I remember the books, but I don't remember what they were about or anything. It's been so long.
Like, I just remember reading all those series, and the only time I ever read them was in the library. And there's people that don't even know we have one.
Yeah. It's on, what are you talking about? They have a library on their phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the only library that they understand. And they don't know that there's books there either.
It's called Google.
Yeah, they don't know there's books there either. I mean, I am one of those people that will buy books and I don't read them all the way through, but there is one book that I physically could not stop reading. Actually, 2. The Holocaust book that I bought, I know how bad that is. And it's this thick and it has some very bad pictures in it. But then again, you're not going to learn anything unless it's visceral, unfortunately, with the way life is nowadays. But, we'll come back to that. I have problems.
Yeah.
I have problems. But, I mean, you can already see that in the hour and 48 minutes that we've been talking. And then the other one was the whole Cthulhu mythos by H.P. Lovecraft. I don't know.
Lost me in the books, brother.
I don't know why I could not stop reading it. I do not like horror at all, but I could not stop reading those. And I think it's because it's cosmic horror. It's one of those things where, you're not supposed to understand, so I don't feel so stupid for not understanding.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
We need to have a stream night, buddy boy, and play Call of Cthulhu.
What is Cthulhu?
Let's put it this way. It is an outer god that if you could speak his name correctly, you would go absolutely insane.
So how do you speak it correctly?
You don't. That's the thing. There's no
Okay.
actual definition of how you say his name. That's part of the whole mythos, but that's the whole thing about it. But
Now
Cthulhu
I'm
is
just
basically
confused.
a creature that a god that it has like a head of an octopus, got bat wings, usually is real muscular in every picture. But he's basically he is one of the deep ones that if he wakes up, the whole world basically goes to ruin. There's Azathoth that if he wakes up, the world doesn't exist anymore because we live in his dreams.
Very interesting.
Makes you think out of the box, or at least makes me do think out of the box. I don't know why. I just enjoy it because it's a little weird.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I just
I don't have the
don't
book up here anymore. Dang it. I wonder where I put it. I used to have the book up there.
I don't think I've read through an entire book in like 12 years, which is impressive because I'm 23.
I've read through the Holocaust book I could not get all the way through. And the reason being, as much as anybody wants to say it, I do not care. I physically could not get through the book because in my head, thinking about it and how it all started and how it was done and everything like that, I could not finish the book. So I don't know how it ends. I mean, obviously I know how the Holocaust ended, but I don't know how that book ends because, and it's a very factual book, obviously. But I can't get all the way through it because I ironically end up having nightmares about it. Because just thinking about how the human mind can look at another human in such a bad way that they're just nothing but numbers. I mean, I kind of see it with all the corporations we have nowadays. Because any job you work for, you die.
Well, that's not just corporations.
I know. But
university, that's
I'm
all kinds of stuff.
As a for instance, you're just a number.
Yeah.
And in the grand scheme of things, we're all just numbers, apparently. But
There's a documentary of, don't remember, it's been a long time. There was a documentary over it. There was a guy that survived one of the concentration camps. He has a book as well.
Oh, yeah.
The book's title is his designated number that they tattooed on him.
Yep. I don't remember his name. Sorry.
Be something.
I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but yeah, no, I
don't remember his name.
Yeah.
I watched the documentary and it was super interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's now that we're on this topic, and it's gonna be a long one because I have some opinions the way we talk
should
about.
Save this for the next time.
I guess so. I guess I can, but I'll just finish my thought about that book. That book is so cool. I love that book so much, and because it kind of puts you in the mind's eye per se of just being both persecuting those people as well as putting you in the mind's eye of being the persecuted.
That's interesting.
Because it goes all the way through of how it started, where the mentality came from, where it was deep seated in, where it got institutionalized, where it got turned into an industry, where it got turned into obviously the bad stuff that we've seen everywhere. And then you see the flip side of it, of being in those ghettos, of being persecuted for just believing in something a little bit different, for looking a little bit different. There's not very many books that I can say that I have heard about or read about or something like that kind of puts you in both seats.
Yeah.
Because all the books about, slavery of any realistically. You only get to see, oh, this is how bad that person was for selling a person. Yes, but they're kind of a product of their generation, I guess you would say. More or less. I mean, there was obviously deep-seated hate, but like,
Yeah.
kind of like a product of their situation per se, than fully believing in it. Because there was people that like treated the people they bought like really, really well in the grand scheme of things. Now that was far and few between, and probably leading up to that, there probably was a lot of deaths and a lot of mistreatment. But in the grand scheme of things, we obviously all became free, all of us. That includes the white man. The white man was slaves too. All you got to do is look at Egypt.
Well, I'm not.
You comment all you want. I don't care. That's one of those things that I just, it was bad what happened to African Americans, but there is also other people that we treated even worse. Just look at the Native American history, just for a little bit. You're gonna see we did some really bad things.
You know what? Just one thing. You know what I don't understand is why we have a Columbus Day. Because if you even knew a little bit about what he actually did, we should not be celebrating that man.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, it is pretty insane to me that, well, in that same vein, it is insane to me that banks close on that day.
Yeah.
Government closes on that day. But you still got to go to school.
Yeah.
And everywhere else, if you do not work in those two institutions, you got to go to work.
Yeah, if you know any of the history behind Columbus, except for the surface, what everybody tells you.
Yeah.
He should not have a day. Like, we should not be celebrating him every year.
Hey, the only thing we got to talk about is smallpox blankets, and it'll be okay. It'll be fine. Yeah. Of course, that was more Spaniards than it was Columbus, but he definitely had a hand in it.
Oh, yeah. It's.
Oh, I know.
That's a very long, drawn out conversation.
Yeah, and I'd have to look up some more because there's some stuff that I had forgotten about him, but I know. I remember learning about him for like history class, and I'm like, I'm gonna actually look into it. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting the PG version. What in the world?
He tricked the Native Americans when he first showed up.
Oh,
he came in contact with them, and they, Indians, the way they did things was they saved up food for the winter, and that was their food for the winter until next spring. So whatever they had was all they had. So they did die when it started freezing.
Yeah.
He went to them and said, I want all of your food. They said no, and he said, I'm going to give you 3 days. And he knew the lunar charts of when the blood moon was going to happen.
Yeah.
And he said, if you don't give me your food, I'm going to turn the moon blood red. And the blood moon came around, moon turned red, and they freaked out, gave him and his troops, everybody, all of their food. And like, he basically killed like
a whole civilization.
Half of those Indians because they physically did not have the food to survive the winter.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Well, either way, on to that fact and some tidbits for the next episode. We will see you guys next time. I appreciate you guys coming through, and hopefully you'll like the video. Comment if you want. We'll maybe pick up some comments that were put on here, and hopefully you subscribe if you like it. But like I said, see you guys next time, and we shall see you when we post again.